No intro, no nothing. We are jumping right into this. As of 20 minutes ago, Ogerpon Hearthflame, Fire Ogerpon, was banned from the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet OU metagame. It has not even been out 10 days, and this Pokemon was just banned. This, of course, is following up the Baxcalibur ban that just happened as well. So, we have the result from the OU Council. Finchinator voted ban, Ruff voted do not ban, Ozma voted ban, Ima voted ban, Lily voted ban, Mindgame did not vote, NJMP voted do not ban, Star, TPP, and ZavGB voted ban. So because it was a 7-2 margin and because on a recent survey, it was sitting at a 3.8 out of 5, which meant that there would have to be some sort of action done about it when there's like a higher part about it. They ended up just doing a quick ban as well. What are your thoughts on this ban? Do you think it was too early? Did you think we didn't have enough time to actually adapt to the metagame before this Pokemon got banned? Some people compare this Pokemon to Dracovish because in the sun, it 2 KOs basically everything with Ivy Cudgel, and we'll get more into that in a sec, and I'll show you guys some team structures that it really functioned well on. And again, I do want to know your thoughts. And also, this is for Pokemon Showdown. This is for OU. If you are using this in-game, you're not banned from using it, so don't even worry about it. This is a community-based metagame, and yeah. So their reasoning is as followed. Ogerpon Hearthflame instantly became one of the powerhouses in our metagame. It has every tool imaginable a potent breaker could need, making it very hard to counter. While it is true revenge killing was possible, especially if it lacked Trailblaze, you need sufficient defensive counterplay on top of offensive counterplay to be balanced presence in the metagame. To be a very balanced presence in the metagame. In addition, vulnerabilities like a Stealth Rock weakness are minimized by only needed to enter on few occasions to make an impact. So a lot of the argument against it being banned was the fact that, one, it can't hold an item besides what it is. However, that item does give you a 20% increase on every single one of your moves, not just your stats. It's a 1.2 times increase on every single one of your moves. And while you can't hold heavy duty boots, so you're taking Stealth Rock damage 25% every single time you come in. That doesn't really matter too much if when you're in, you're picking up a KO, especially after terrestrializing, because your ability does give you a +1 attack. Your Terra does turn your stab moves from 1.5 times to 2 times, because, you know, if you have Terra, that is the same stab. You get stronger. And obviously your other moves are stronger as well. Plus, prior to terrestrializing it as Mode Breaker, so answers to set up Pokemon like Unaware Dondozo, Unaware Skeleturge, and the like, Unaware Clefable, you don't care because Mode Breaker does ignore them. So, moving forward, and we're about to get into that as well. Ogerpon Hearthflame lacks sufficient defensive counterplay within the metagame. The Fire Grass stabs with Mold Breaker make Ogerpon Hearthflame very good as is, oftentimes being capable of hitting everything with these 2 stabs and coverage options like Play Rough or Knockoff. 120 attack is strong too, but not enough to push something over the top necessarily. However, Swords Dance and good speed go a long way here. All of these things could very likely be reasoned with if not for the Terra Ogerpon Hearthflame specific characteristics like the Hearthflame Mask giving it unprecedented boost in attacking prowess thanks to Embody aspect, coupled with Ivy Cudgel multiplying in power between stab, terrestrialization, and attack boost to become unreasonably strong. I think another reason is that Ivy Cudgel does not make contact, so you can't punish this physical attacker like you would most physical attackers by going out to a defensive static Zapdos and having that 30% chance to paralyze it. I do think that if it did make contact, it would be a totally different story. I don't even think this would be here. Playing around this defensively is hardly possible, and this is not conducive within a metagame that allows for many archetypes to be viable and consistent. While we may try Ogerpon Hearthflame again after the next DLC, it is best for it to be banned from the metagame now as we hope to approach a more stable environment. Do you agree with that though? Do you agree with that though? I would love to know. Please let me know down below. One of the this is a known form of Ogerpon or a known team. Obviously using it on Sun, you don't have to use Torkoal, you could use Ninetales as well. But Ogerpon, you typically use this. Power Whip can be used over Hornleech as well, and you can also use Trailblaze too. Trailblaze would make your speed, so then if you want to try and revenge kill it with something like a Booster Energy Iron Moth, it's not necessarily possible because then it's still a speed tie at that point. If you have Trailblaze, even things like Cinderace fall to Ivy Cudgel when it's boosted by Sun and by your Terra as well, and Trailblaze obviously gets rid of Cinderace out speeding you and the like. In fact, just yesterday I uploaded a video. This is why Hearthflame Ogerpon will be banned, because I do understand the reasoning behind it and the reasoning that it's being related or compared to Dracovish. I also find it very, very funny that this Pokemon is kind of like Zacian, where the ability always activates, not just the first time, in the same metagame where they nerfed Zacian's ability as well. So in this video, my opponent does have a Dragonite with multi-scale and does have heavy-duty boots, so they don't take the Stealth Rock that are clearly out. I Terra in the sun. Of course, you know I have to have the Mask as my ability, and this is a Dragonite that comes in. I do not have Mold Breaker. This is just my normal power. That's doing 39% through multi-scale, which means the next one is a guaranteed KO. No boost necessary, no play rough, no super effective coverage needed. However, if that's not enough to show you how powerful this Pokemon is, let's watch the next 5 seconds of this video where I go for it again as Toxapex comes out. Defensive Toxapex at that. Has heavy duty boots, so it doesn't even take Stealth Rock, and it takes 53%. This is just simply me attacking with this Pokemon, right? And I do think that's one of the better ways to play this Pokemon. Some people do set up and try and sweep. I think the best way to use it on Sun specifically was just Terra, get your KO, get out, Terra, get your KO, get out from there. I also want to note that Grass Water is amazing offensive coverage. We might not have thought so much because we had Scovillain to really represent it. No offense to Scovillain, I'm sure you're great. You probably have a wonderful personality. But this Mon having the speed, having the power, and more importantly, having that 1.2 times boost on every single attack. So even if you're not predicting correctly, your moves are still stronger, and it's not costing you like, well, Life Orb is a 1.3 times boost, right? It's not costing you Life Orb damage. And it's almost like having a Miracle Seed, having a Mystic Water, but on all your moves, right? So it hits incredibly hard. It's very fast. Look at my opponent's team on this just first game, just to show you an example. And they only have one Pokemon that is speed ties with it. Obviously, they do have priority. Some of the best ways for offense to end up dealing with it was getting Stealth Rock Chip and then pressuring it with Bandit Dragonite's E-Speed, a King Gambit after the opponent has knocked out some Pokemon to have the Fallen. But of course, Ogerpon Hearthflame could have Horn Leech to get back to almost full and then not worry about that. And then faster means we already talked about how Trailblaze can do it. This is Pokemon Showdown, by the way, if you don't know. It is a free site where you can actually make teams. It's very, very simple to make teams. Like if I want to give this thing Dragon Pulse, all I gotta do is type Dragon Pulse. And you don't use these on your actual game, but it's a site where you can actually find a battle and then play here. As you can see, there's VGC going on, so people can actually test. I just want to show that because sometimes people don't know what the hell they're looking at, and I want to do that. Now, do I think that Ogerpon could have used a little bit longer for us to adapt to the metagame? Yeah, I think that's completely fine. Especially because it's only been, what, 9 days? And I do think that there are other things that need to be looked up in the metagame as well, like potentially Veil and stuff. Maybe even Gliscor or something looked at. But it got banned. So what are your thoughts? Let me know down below. And do you think anything is next? I do think that obviously now the best Ogerpon is the Water Ogerpon, because in order it would be Fire, it would be Water, and then after that it's the other two. But let me know your thoughts. If you want to see the actual video as well, I'll leave a link to that down below. And that's all I have for y'all. Goodbye.